to Rants with Ray. My name is Rainice Mitchell. And I actually got a few words, but I'm going to try to make each video quick and I'm going to put them in separate videos. Yeah, we in a bonnet scarf thing. We got this going on today. I'm tired, but y'all gonna get this. Y'all gonna get this message, okay? Okay. All right. um, okay, so you guys, I was driving on the road. First of all, I just want to say God is so good. God is so amazing. He literally can make an entire message out of something so small and minute. But I was driving on the road, and this particular road, y'all, this particular road is horrible. Capital horrible with all caps. I mean, it is not potholes, but craters in the street. Craters. Okay? It's dangerous. Um so if you don't got a truck, you really shouldn't even be driving on this road. That's how horrible the road is, right? You could pop out a tire, catch a flat, because I've literally caught a flat from driving on this road before, but the thing was, I was driving totally different from what I was driving today. So, um, as I was driving, I was driving very slow, very careful, and I was driving very slow and very careful, and I could tell a lot of people were upset. They were upset that I was moving this slow, and they decided to, um, like pass over me, skip me, but it was like the energy was so aggressive in the way that they were like getting over to pass me. It was like they were jerking their cars. It was like really, really aggressive the way that they were trying to make it a point to pass me, as if I don't know the speed limit that I'm going, as if they don't see the craters in the street. Okay, cool. So now, even though now I'm in a lane where the street is a little bit more bad than the other side. Both sides are horrible. But I would say the left side of the street got a little bit more deeper and more gruesome potholes than the right side. But for some reason, God wanted me to stay on the left side with the more gruesome potholes. And what God was saying to me as I was driving through them slowly. So normally, like, I would be jumping to the right side, jumping from the left to right. So whenever the space in the road was clear of a pothole, I would just jump to that side. Uh, so I was dipping in and out of both lanes in the street, kind of like what everybody was doing around me today. So I could just avoid the potholes and hurry up and get to where I'm going. And instead of doing that today, I decided to take my time and drive slowly through the potholes. And when I did that, God was showing me, what he was revealing to me in that moment was, he was like, you are taking the road less traveled, right? You see how, because it got to a point where I was the only one on that side of the street. And don't mind my eyes, y'all. I'm like so tired. I'm sleepy, okay? But anyway, so I was like the only person on that side of the street. And God was like, you're taking the road less traveled. And even though it's tumultuous, it got so many dips, so many highs and lows, it's unlevel, unbalanced. Yeah, I don't want you to rush through this process, because it is so important to catch the lessons on the along the way of the journey. That's what makes the destination worth it in the end, you guys, when we can really be grateful for the moments in between. Those lessons that we learn build us into who we are today. They build that character, that morale that you need to have in this next season. And God was like, a lot of people didn't take the road less traveled because they didn't want to wait. They didn't want to go through they wanted the highs, but they didn't want to go through the lows. And part of the fruits of God is long suffering. And I know it may not sound good in the moments of you going through it, but it is so important to be grateful for those moments, you guys, because those moments really create you into the individual that you are. They show you whether you are they show you just how much it shows you just how much strength you have, just how strong you are. And God is saying, what a lot of people not taking the road less travel, and them, you know, basically wanting to get everything so quickly, these microwave results, they didn't learn a lot of the lessons that needed to be learned. So once they get to the destination, they won't even be able to keep up with the blessing. They won't be able to keep up because they skipped through the process, and they skipped the lows. So a lot of that battle experience that they missed out on is the lessons that they needed to be able to conquer certain things in this next season. But because they skipped the lows, because they only wanted to experience the highs and wanted to move fast at their own pace, they're not going to be properly equipped. They're not going to, their foundation isn't going to be as grounded as it should be. And God is saying, don't be bitter or upset because you took the road less traveled, because what you're building is going to last forever. What you're building cannot be broken easily. What you're building cannot be shooken up. And God is saying, um, so he was saying, like, the people that were like moving around me, jumping in from lane to lane, that was a representation of people. Okay, they'll they'll choose the world when they want to get what they want, or when they experience in a high, but whenever they experience in a low, they jump back in the lane with God, and they go into prayer and asking God to help them and save them. And God is like, he is really, really looking out for the people that stayed in their lane, that stayed obedient. Even when it was hard, God is saying he is about to bless you. And I'm not saying that like he ain't gonna bless the other ones that, have dipped in and out, because we all dip in and out at certain times. But it's something about this last season where if you stuck through and you kept your faith in God and you stayed faithful, even in the midst of your wilderness and your trials, there's something about this last season where if you stuck through, God's got something big for you. God has never left the righteousness unforsaken, and he is not going to, your good deeds have not gone unnoticed. So God is saying, even though you took the road less traveled, it is the most rewarding, and can't nobody come and take it. It ain't gonna, you wonder why everything you would win or attain in the past wouldn't last, or something, like soon as something good would happen, something bad would happen right after. And that's because you were in a false version of yourself, a false version of your life. When Until you step into covenant with God, um you are living in a false version of yourself, a false version of your life. And that's why everything that you got before in the past, it didn't last, and you don't got it right now. And that's because, it may be frustrating, and, it may make you angry at first, but when God replaces those things with everything he has for you, you aren't even going to remember the things. You ain't even going to care at all, because God going to bless you with so much more than what you had before. It's just certain things that you had to learn. And the only way we can learn is if you got to go through some shit. You can't always think everything gonna be peaches and roses. It's not. Is everything always peaches and roses with you? Imagine if, let's say you got a child, and your child say, I don't want you to be my mama no more because you can't get me this. You're gonna be like, if you don't sit the, yeah. That's how it be with that's how it be with us and God. So it be like, y'all, we can't just be like, nigga, you ain't get the whoop the whoop that I wanted. I'm gone. I'm fought with you. I fought with you, but I'm fought with you. Like, we can't, in this new season, we gotta stay loyal, you guys, with a capital L. We gotta put the work in and keep our faith to God the Most High as best as we can, and trust that even though you took the road less traveled, it's gonna be the most rewarding, and God has so much in store for you. Okay. Okay. So that was a really, really good revelation that I got just from these riding on the side of the road with these huge potholes that were basically like craters. And I'm like, God, why do you have me riding on the side of the road today? And then I'm riding so slow. And God is saying, sometimes this is how life is. I may have you in the lane where it's tumultuous, where it's bumpy, and it got some highs and some lows, and it got some stuff that could take you out and make you take a pause for a while, and that's okay. You need that. You need the bad with the good, because the bad makes the good good. If everything was always perfect, you wouldn't appreciate the good times. Okay? None of us the fuck would. So be grateful for those moments. Okay? Don't be mad, don't be bitter, because those moments create who you are. God is just trying to build a steady and unshakable foundation within you, and it's taking a little longer because you're gonna actually be around for a longer time. Okay. All right. I love y'all. I love y'all so much more. I hope this message blessed you guys just as much as it blessed me. As I said before, I'm gonna get on here a few more times because I had a few more messages, but they're gonna be kind of in between, so the videos are gonna be a little short. But I hope you guys got the meat of the message, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.